Hello, my beautiful Virgos. Welcome to your reading. If you're new here, this is Divine Light, and we're going to look into what's coming your way this month. Let's jump into it right away and see what's coming your way. Before I open it up, I saw here two pathways opening, but initially there's one pathway opening and leading to a second one. When I look at it this way, I kind of see a masculine figure and a feminine figure standing side by side. For some of you, this can be meeting like a soulmate energy, someone who has the soulmate potential, basically. And you're standing side by side indicates that you might really go on a journey with this person. This seems like it's showing up within the second quarter of the month, and this person is outside of your comfort zone. So I know this is for the next 4 weeks, and this can maybe take some time to develop, but I feel like the pathway is right here. Either you're going to take inspired action to meet this person. This can be the beginning of a new relationship for some of you. And this new relationship can also be a friendship, partnership, a new job environment that you're going to find yourself in. But eventually, what I feel here, side by side, shoulders touching each other, indicates there's going to be intimacy here. Intimacy can show up in the sense of like romance, but also being genuinely open with each other. Maybe this is like a job opportunity coming to you that you can be paid to be who you are, act in a way that like showing your skills and being who you are is going to be the appreciation point here. For some of you, I have here within the first week, there's an anvil on the bottom. This is actually this little board, kind of reminds me of an ironing board. And there is like a big, maybe even like a bag over it. Maybe this bag is filled with money, that you're carrying something. Ironing board can be carrying all the weight of this thing. Virgo, you like to have order, you like to organize things, and I feel like here this can be something messy that you do not really prefer to have at this moment, but you have the ironing board here, so you're going to get the chance to lay everything out, flatten this mess. If you see this as like a mess showing up, you're going to get the chance to lay it all in front of you and iron it, organize it, put it in the right places. Another thing now I'm thinking, maybe you have something coming into your life that looks like a big challenge or a big opportunity. For example, sometimes I watch this kind of like candle brands or soap brands, which I love them. And some of them really blow up extremely fast because they do some sort of like medical things or like for skin allergies, eczema, and that really blows up. People really demand that. And what happens is with that little ironing board, they have like a huge orders that they need to fulfill. And if that's the case for you, your actions are going to count. If you're feeling like I need more support, I need a lot of income, a lot of like financials, I feel like you're going to be able to turn this around if you have open communications. I see the phone lines forming here. So if you're informing people in the right place and the right time, telling them the dates and all that stuff, you're going to be able to, because I feel like here, when we communicate, we can actually understand each other. If we do not communicate, maybe we don't have to tell every intimate thing in our life to others, but we can express that there's something happening. For example, I have been missing for a couple of weeks because of a moving issue that I have been dealing with, that which actually I had to move twice within the 2 weeks. So that's why I have been delaying the post recently. But now I'm here. I shared it with the weekly video, but now I'm sharing with you again here. And I'm going to start posting. I'm starting today from now on. We're going to get back to the regular schedule. I see here there's a woman, kind of reminds me of someone actually rubbing their hair. So it's not only going to be something you're going to get the chance to organize it the best way possible and that you will feel confident with. Another thing here that someone actually like playing with their hand, fixing their hair. Fixing hair is really a tough thing. for some. And so this is going to give you that comfort that you're going to become maybe even expert at this thing. So it can become like another service that you're providing, or you will have that easy breezy vibe coming over you. Okay, you're going to feel confident that you got this thing done. You have more space and time for that. I see a Taurus right here, a bull's head. This can be symbolizing an authority figure, government, someone working in the government coming forward to help you out with the situation. Or this can be like you becoming the authority at the end of the day. Maybe this is something that you are starting new. You're learning, organizing, putting it in order and getting it done. And then you're becoming maybe an even expert that advises people regarding the subject, okay? Within the second quarter of the month, I see here there's a crowd forming. We have someone who is balancing things out, like holding the scales in their hand, which has like a number 8 on their chest. Number 8 symbolizes material satisfaction, karma, giving and receiving, the cycle of life. And the best card that defines the karma is a justice card with the lady Themis with her scale in her hand. And I feel the same energy here. This can be a Libra that you're connecting with. Maybe they have the perfect balance and they have a roof over their head. So this can be someone who's already, they have provided for themselves already. Now they are stepping into the space to balance everything out. So it can be someone very powerful. Lady Justice can be symbolizing for some of you. Maybe this is a governmental work or a legal work that requires that kind of organization. But I feel like because the phone lines that you're extending, maybe your demand will be fulfilled. You're going to demand some sort of like, I have here something that doesn't clarify yet. Please go ahead and clarify it for me. Energy, I feel it here, okay? Another thing I see here is within the third quarter and the fourth quarter, phone lines are forming. So after you organize, or maybe this energy of Libra, this justice energy, the karma energy starts organizing itself, there is a phone line forming here, which is looking beautiful. I love that energy. And there are some legal papers and clean agreements, clean meaning in the sense of the way you want the things to go around coming forward. I see a woman taking care of her child right here. The child kind of looks like a lamb right there. So this can be someone with like a younger child, or the lamb can be something that you are growing right this moment, okay? And it can be representative of maybe there's something in your mind that you're growing right now, which is going to be your lamb to, I feel like I want to say sacrifice, but it's not the right word because, for example, maybe you're working on a book project right now this month. You get inspired maybe to start writing this, or this can be maybe something you have already completed. Now you are going to go ahead and give it to the publisher. So this is your lamb. Now you're going to give it away to someone so they can actually put it out there, spread the news about it. Okay. So because this kind of creations usually, because it has sentimental value that we put a lot of energy into it, it can have that kind of like a feeling like your child type of energy inside of it. So it can be like a project, can be a book, can be something that really, you appreciate in your life. You put a lot of energy, you grow from scratch. And it seems like here there's like a future that you are tending to this thing, but it is the end of you tending it, because we have here, there's like a master splinter. I think that was the name. I don't know if you guys watched the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There was a creature, a character called Master Splinter. And I think that was the name of that mouse, the master of the turtles. So someone who is wise and all-knowing is standing in front of you. So you might want to, now it's time to hand it over to them. But another thing here is Master Splinter has the mouse energy. Okay. And the mouse tend to steal things because they're small, they hide things, they steal things. And what happened is, I mentioned that I was moving. I moved to the first place. There was this big mouse in the house that needed to be taken care of. But before we realized I was there, it actually chewed off the washing machines, pipes and stuff. So that just I just remembered that. So this can be someone who has some sort of a help to nature, but not helping to you. Okay, now the scene is changing. We have another king outside here. Because it's outside of your comfort zone, maybe you don't really want to offer this thing to you. Maybe it's too big for your liking. And this can be, I'm going to go with the example of the publishing. Maybe this is like a worldwide publishing house, but this is like a local one. Seems like here, go big. Go big is the key here. And even if you're feeling like that's going to be rejected, that's okay, and you can try again. And I feel like there's a blessing there that you will experience. I see the half moon right here. There's some things are half eliminated. This means that if there's any information that you just received, there's more into that. There's more questions that you need to ask in order to receive the full context of the situation in your heart, okay? Let's dive into your saucer now. If you have a specific question, a desire, an intention, hold it in your mind and let's see what the answer is going to be for that one. I see here, okay, a chunk of money just slide down, and this is related to your desire as well. There's somebody here looking like a superhero, pulling it down for you. Maybe if this is like a loan, maybe somebody's taking care of the paperwork for you, or if there's something that needs to be filled out, there might be someone helping you out. But this can also be your energy. If you know how to take care of those things, maybe you are doing it. Okay, I see there is a brain type of shape right here. Okay, and I have this affirmations and oracle magic book today, and actually my sister, we were putting them in place, and my sister kept opening a page and a brain, there's like a page, there's a brain shape keeps showing up for her, and it's about actually thinking logically rather than maybe emotionally here, making decision. And I feel like here this is outside of your heart as well. So your intuition is going to guide you towards a certain pathway, and there's a second desire coming forward, and your first desire has a certain pace. Okay, it's not really happening tomorrow, but it is coming in a certain pace, so it's a positive thing as well. But what I see here is like your intuition is lightly guiding you towards the places that you want to go, but after maybe even the third quarter of the month, the brain shape is showing up to tell you that you need to go with a logical answer. Okay, you need to, whatever is logical, instead of just going with spontaneous and impulsive decisions, you need to go write things down, advantages, disadvantages, and how it's going to work out for you. And I feel like that's when the process also gets faster. Okay, when you do the logical thing, there's going to be signs, and you're not going to maybe receive clear yes or no answers from the universe or from the other parties, but there are going to be signs that you're on the right pathway. In the beginning of the month, I see someone here standing. Kind of reminds me of like an Egyptian soldier wearing like a piece of clothing. You know, they just cover their parts and then they wear like something on their shoulders. This is not historical accuracy, by the way. It's something that I saw in like Egyptian movies and stuff, and the mummy and such. It's not, I don't really know how they used to dress. I think they use cotton and hemp clothing. And I see here, this one is actually, they have a sword or a knife behind them, and they have their arm out here. I see letter V, so you might be on the edge of a victorious moment here, and someone, maybe they are recognizing that and trying to push you out of the situation. But they're not going to last too long, so they might reveal the truth to you. They might really give you what's yours. If you're hesitant to take action, move forward, ask for what belongs to you, and don't, because this person recognizes that you are about to receive what you want. This is your birthright. This is your legal right, maybe even, and they're gonna give up. But they have a sword in their hand, so they try to pull some shady things because maybe they don't really have the right to have this thing. So be prepared, and if it's necessary, prepare to defend your territory from this person. Okay, they might, for example, maybe you're demanding something and this is legally your right, or maybe like socially this is your contract that you're going to receive. This person might try to do something that is going to really bother you and you're going to give up on that. And I feel like here being prepared, knowing that this can happen, prepares you for the right next action. Okay, let's get to your tarot now. Where are you currently? We have the Lovers. Guys, what's happening here? You're on fire. Look at this Lovers. The tree is burning, the snake. However, I feel a lot of temptation here as well. But yourself currently, you're in the right place in the right time. Your energy is really potent. And this can also indicate health, healing matters. Maybe you're receiving some sort of divine healing. Also, this can be indicative of finding a soulmate, a true soulmate, and maybe forming perfect partnership. We're stepping into the timeline of Gemini, which you share the magician energy with Gemini. So we're going into the Mercury Gemini timeline. The communication lines are going to open, and with yourself currently, you can really be in the right place in the right time, talk to the right people, and say the right things. Okay, seems like your energy is really highly potent at this moment. What you speak about, you bring about. Main theme of the month for you is the Wheel of Fortune. Guys, this is like one of the best readings so far, by the way. And it seems like here the Gemini had like the negative cards, but I interpret them in the positive way, I feel like, because they're going through a transformation. When it comes to your timeline, you're going full force, full power. Everything is working. And the main theme of the month, first of all, things going right. And the second thing is, Wheel of Fortune is not only about the things going right and everything is aligning, but also buying, not only winning the lottery, but buying the lottery ticket. So your right action, your right-minded thinking and communication, knowing that everything is always working out for your highest good, will bring a lot of blessings this month, which I love this energy for you. What you should embrace is the Judgment Day is coming. So if there's some things that you were holding on to, or maybe you have been wronged by people, it can happen to the best of us. The Judgment Day is coming, that it is going to, the karma is going to arrange everything and put everything in the right place, okay? Because what happens is when you think about with good intention and act in good intention and pure intention, and if anything doesn't really go right, and people really do things to prevent that or stop you on your tracks, the karma comes to them, okay? Because it is something that if you are on the right track, nothing can stop you. And if they are trying to block the blessing, and the thing comes back around. And what you should embrace is maybe you're trying to do everything by yourself, everything. Maybe you're trying to, if someone wronged you, you want to just bring the justice by yourself. But it seems like here, embrace that everything always working out for you, and no one is getting away with the darkness that they create. And you are also with your light, the more light you can create and the more you attract into your life. There is going to be a Judgment Day. The dead are rising from the coffins, meaning everything is going to be laid out in front of you, and you're going to see the truth of certain matters as well. Okay, that's what you should embrace instead of being resistant to that. Embrace that, okay, this is the flow of life. I'm on the right place in the right time. The action you need to take is Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords is a dramatic ending. So I feel like this is coming as a warning. We're going to get the clarifiers as well. What you can do instead of help things to go maybe even downhill and do this a dramatic ending, tragic ending, you can really control that, okay? Because like I said, there's a new era coming this month and the things are going to go really lucky. But there are certain things that you need to decide to end. And this can be about maybe dealing with dramatic people in their own, going into down to their level to deal with them. Because I heard somewhere certain people cannot really beat you on your level, so they drag you down to their level and they beat you there. And I feel like here, this is the energy, this is the action you need to take. That be aware that you don't have to go down to certain people's levels. And if there's an ending happening, it's happening for a good reason, and you will see why it happened that way. So you don't have to dwell too much in that energy to fix it, okay? Final outcome is the chariot, that you galloping towards your new future, your desires, leaving the old town behind. You can't even see because this chariot is so big. He's so abundant and he's moving forward. And I see here, this kind of reminds me of that spinning thing in the Inception. It's the, I don't know if you've seen the movie. So it's a time is an illusion, basically, that we can manipulate time and space. So this is something I feel like when you let the things do not serve you go, this month is going to be about further progress, okay, and receiving the blessings, and maybe even leaving the past behind for some of you. Let's see, we have a younger woman that you're dealing with, and this can be also your energy. Maybe you're looking things with like bright and also creative way, because women is a feminine energy, it's a creative energy instead of action oriented. We have also older women dealing with relationships with an older man. So for some of you, this can be the beginning of a relationship, a new relationship. And older men can also be interpreted as like governmental, institutional success, and you stepping into that space as a younger and new person. Someone is undependable and insincere. So this is coming as a warning as well. I feel like yourself currently, you're feeling there's something, maybe the two people can be being insincere, and you're recognizing that. When you recognize that, the great and good fortune, you're going to start manifesting it, okay? You're going to feel the right way. I feel like intuitively, you deep down already know who is what they're doing, but you don't have the clarity. This is the sign and symbol, and this is telling you, follow that intuition. You're going to be guided towards the wheel of fortune and the 4-flower leaf, the good luck, okay? Let's see the wheel of fortune here. We have a tiger doing something risky and taking a chance and reaping the rewards of that is also on the cards right here. What you should embrace is getting together with friends, and if there is someone maybe you're thinking that wronged you, they might want to apologize. They want to have this kind of like session of speaking the truth, spilling their guts, or like coming to terms, basically, okay? This can be also even the ending of that relationship at the end of the day, but this is going to put you in a short journey. Okay. Horse usually indicates wish fulfillment and a great passion. You're going to start experiencing great passion. This can be about that specific subject, or this can spread around. Maybe this is something karmic weight that you're carrying. It is going to spread around on the other areas of your life. Okay. Final result, family wishes come true. I feel like with the chariot energy, you're going to receive some sort of like a divine guidance. And we have the boat, money or property through an inheritance, winning, or a windfall. This can be for some of you, maybe you have like a very valuable space in your family, and it is going to get sold. Maybe you're going to buy stuff with that. Can be the case, can be moving on, moving further. Maybe you want to move away, getting the chance to do that also, okay? Let's get to your oracle now. If you have specific questions, desired intention, it's good to focus on that one. But if you don't have anything in your mind, we'll just do the general answer here. But here we look at the blockage. Reflection and non-judgment, the lady of the mirror. This is the blockage. So there is some people around you, maybe reflecting you, what's happening within you, okay? And maybe some things are not really going right, or some things are going extremely right, which is actually doesn't really seem like a blockage. But if certain things or pathways are blocked, it is showing you that why the people are giving you the answers that are in your mind. If somebody's telling you about a certain subject, no, maybe you are actually not allowing yourself to receive the blessings on that. Okay, let's see where the healing lies. Compensation and perseverance. We have a rainbow prince. He has the water energy, and I feel like with the water, this is not only compensation but also feeling compassion towards yourself. And when the rainbow prince appears as your ally, he reminds you about the law of compensation and the law of receiving. I love that. After the rainstorm you have endured on your journey, the rainbow prince brings you a pot of gold, which is a result of your using all the elements of your inner light and reaching into the sky until you touch the material realm from one end to another. This isn't always an easy process, and hard work must be rewarded by compensation. Okay, so what you put out is what you get back. If you put out positive energy, that's going to multiply and come back to you. Okay, if you are reflecting back to the life, maybe somebody is treating poorly and you're treating the same way, it is going to reflect back to the life. But the non-judgment is telling you, do not judge whatever comes your way, because today's meditation, actually, I heard that as well. When we judge, things show up in our energy that just lowers our energy field. That just lowers our, even like happiness goes away when we start judging people. And that comes from feeling lack. Okay, if you want to experience the abundance, knowing that everything comes your way has a purpose, every person shows up has a purpose, and you are receiving through what you're giving. So keep giving the positive energy. Okay, and final outcome will be small steps and asking for help. We have 44 and 23 here, which I have the energy of creativity, and divine help will be given. When you ask for it, it will show up for you, which I love this energy for you. Okay, and asking for help, also the outcome, and maybe you are already asking for help, but you're not receiving it from that person, that situation, and maybe that's why you're feeling judgment at this moment. But it seems like here, when you release that judgment and look at the things from the perspective of giving and receiving, the karmic perspective, the right answers, the right help will show up for you. Okay, let's get to your second oracle now. I ask the best advice or guidance for my beautiful Virgos through unconditional now. Thank you. Let's see. Oh, we have the bunny right here. Bunny is looking in towards this beautiful yellow circle. Yellow is the color of the solar plexus, which is our creative and joy and fun center. Life will support the vision you have for yourself. Make it the best it can be. So if you don't have a vision of the future, start creating it now. And if you think that is too big, now double it, make it bigger. Okay, and focus on that vision, because it seems like here the universe wants to multiply, the creator, the energies of this divine wants to multiply what you're desiring. Okay, because the rabbits, they multiply really fast. Whatever you dream about, you're going to multiply that. Whatever you visualize, it's going to be multiplied and doubled, maybe tripled, quadrupled, and return back to you. Let's get to your affirmation. Let's see. You can use this affirmation throughout the day. Okay, and this is a Louis Hay affirmation. I use most of her affirmations throughout the day, which give me a lot of light and lightness and joy, and sometimes calmness. Let's see what you have here. I am incredibly capable. Whenever I encounter a challenge in my life, I use the experience to grow, to learn and grow. Okay, that's the judgment. That makes sense now. This is the affirmation part. I support myself in making the right choices for me. I support myself in making the right choices for me. Okay, so I feel with this energy, it's not only I am making the right choices, it's also saying that even though I decided to end certain things, I'm going towards a new future. So I support my decisions, even though right that moment my gut is supporting me, but my mind is telling me something else. Okay, and gut feeling is very important, but also I feel like some logical, the brain, the logical responses are going to be important, and I feel like they're all going to align. So I support myself in making the right choices for me is kind of like also telling us that if you are dependent on other people's recognition of that you're making the right choices, this is telling you to turn your gaze towards yourself. Okay. All right, my beautifuls, that's all for today. Hope you enjoy your reading. If you do, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of these, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I wish you all a magical day. Bye.